BGSU fans lined the Doit in hopes of seeing the Falcons continue their strong start to the season. We start the first quarter with Akron's quarterback Kyle Pohl throwing a wide-open touchdown pass to wide receiver L.T. Smith to give the Zips an early 7-point lead. The Falcons tried to respond with their next possession, but quarterback Matt Johnson's incomplete pass to wide receiver Chris Gallen forced the Falcons to kick a field goal, narrowing the gap 7-3. Akron quickly answered back with their next possession. Quarterback Kyle Pohl faked the handoff and ran the ball into the end zone. Towards the end of the first half, Matt Johnson completed a 22-yard touchdown pass to wide receiver Sean Joplin to narrow the deficit 14-10 going into halftime. In the second half, on the Falcons' first possession, running back William Houston powered the ball through Akron's defensive line for the touchdown, giving the Falcons the lead 17-14. Then came the play of the game, where Johnson was able to escape the rush and flip the ball to running back Travis Green, who managed to evade the defense and run the ball 30 yards into the end zone, increasing their lead to 21. Green capped the game off in the fourth quarter with another run, giving the Falcons the win 31-14. Here is Matt Johnson after the game.
I think this was a really good team win because nobody really got down, and everybody that was facing adversity, there was 5 guys, telling them pick it up, keep your head up. So it was a good team win.
After a very dark and rainy day, the rain finally subsided for a great evening for soccer. The BGSU Falcons were set to take on the Eastern Michigan Eagles. Despite the many shots on goal that each team had in the first half, nobody could put the ball in the goal. Goalie Lauren Cadell stepped up for the Falcons and protected the goal very well in the first half. She tied her career high with 12 saves by the end of the game. In the second half, off of a poor pass by Eastern Michigan, defender Kylie Bream accidentally kicked the ball into the Bowling Green goal, giving the Eagles a 1-0 lead. The Eagles were able to add on to their lead with an additional penalty kick, increasing their lead to 2. Middle fielder Taylor Buckarow quickly responded with her first collegiate goal from 35 yards out to bring the Falcons within 1. The Falcons tried to score one more goal to tie, but the Eagles' defense prevented that from happening. The Eastern Michigan Eagles came out on top 2-1, and the Falcons moved to 0-9 on the season. Reporting for BG24 Sports, I'm Tim Crnko.
Get in, White. Good run. Wow.
My name is Chandler Cole, and this is my story. I was raised in a family where I had 2 big important things. One was to protect my 3 older sisters, and the other one was to play baseball. Sports came to me very naturally, but the sport I loved most was baseball. It wasn't until I got to my freshman year where I actually started to develop and play at a high level. My goal as a freshman was to play varsity, but I knew it would be incredibly hard with 11 seniors. Worked harder than I ever did on anything, and I got to play varsity and start varsity over senior. So freshman year went along, and I ended up getting a scholarship from the University of Alabama. And I knew that this is what I wanted. This is all I needed. Sophomore year I came back. We got to go to the state championship again this year, but 2 days beforehand, me and a guy who was going to pitch that game stayed back and weren't going to go out and go to parties and do that stuff because we knew that this game was important to us. We told me we'd be their designated driver. So we got that call, and we went to go pick up 2 guys, and I was in the passenger seat, and we were on our way back, and we were going through a green light, and guy ran a red light, drunk driver, and hit us. We rolled we hit a light post. And I thought my life was over, my career was over. I broke my femur, I broke my hip, I broke 3 ribs, broke my arm, I separated my shoulder, tore my labrum, tore my rotator cuff, broke my jaw, and had a pretty severe concussion. And the doctors told me that I'd be lucky to run again. I'd probably never be able to run again. At this point, I knew my life was done. So I resulted. The result was, I'm going to go to drugs, I'm going to go to alcohol, I'm going to go to girls, I'm going to find life in that. And it didn't work. I didn't find my life in that. And I was going to try and get back into baseball, try and beat the odds and be able to run again. And after rehabbing, I realized that I actually could run. And then they were amazed that this happened. I was able to cut, was able to do that. And after 7 months of rehab, I was able to get back and play baseball again. My junior year came around, and I started hanging out with this older guy who I met at a football game. And all he wanted to do was hang out with me and get to know me for me, which I thought was bizarre, but he wanted to know me for me. And he asked me, Chandler, do you want to go to camp with me? And I was like, I didn't know what he was talking about. And he said, Young Life Camp, it'll be the best week of your life. If it's not, I'll pay for you. I'll pay you back to go. And I didn't have the money to go. And he said, no worries, it's paid for. So I went to camp, and I found life. I figured out who Jesus was. I figured out that all I wanted in life was to know Jesus and tell people about Jesus. So coming back from camp, I knew that all I wanted to do was tell people about who Jesus was. So the day I came back, talked to my parents, talked to my friends, and I told my coach that I didn't want to play baseball anymore. I ended up getting a scholarship to play baseball at Michigan State, and I declined it and said, no, I'm not going to play baseball. Didn't play baseball my senior year of high school. That came with consequence. People decided to vandalize my car, vandalize my house. It was really tough on me senior year, but I continued to tell people about Jesus and live like that. Coming to college, I became a young life leader. The tool that saved me. I wanted to help kids and realize that that's what they needed too, is Jesus. And now I coach baseball at Bowling Green High School and lead Young Life at Bowling Green High School, and I've never been happier. No scholarship, no anything could be better than what I'm doing now.